Well, I did it. I beat Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Well, I beat it with a few characters. There are more than one way to beat this game, and I decided to beat it with like several different characters, which makes this game even better than what it was 17 years ago when the last Dragon Ball Z came out. And in this video, I wanted to talk about my thoughts and give my honest review about this game and talk about the good, the bad, and things that could improve on in the future with some DLC. So without further ado, let's hop on into it. All right, first up, let's talk about the good. What are the good things about this game? Well, one of the good things that I liked about this game, as you see right here, the fight mechanics slash animations, I think they were really, really well done. They could be a little bit overwhelming, and we'll get into that later on, but the animations were just absolutely mind-blowing. It actually felt like you were in a Dragon Ball Z episode, and it was just so much fun to, recreate certain fights or do certain moves from certain characters and just demolish your opponent if you knew what you were doing, of course. But it was just absolutely amazing and a visual spectacle just to watch and play this game. And I had a great time with it. And to me, I feel like it will never get old because there's so many different characters and so many different moves you can learn, and there's more DLC coming. Absolutely well done. Loved every bit of it. And speaking of characters, there are a ton of characters in this game and transformations and different ways to play characters. And it was just, at first it was overwhelming because there's so many different characters, but to see that play these characters, it is so much fun. Like I think they have almost every single character from the Dragon Ball Z lore, and there's more characters coming from like different spin-offs and stuff. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And I wasn't even expecting Beerus or Whis to be in it, but they got them too, and they did such a great job with them. And since there's so many characters, there's different point of views. Like we all know the main Dragon Ball Z story, but you can play as characters and look at it from their point of view. Like you can play as Jiren in the Tournament of Power and fight against Ultra Instinct Goku and Golden Frieza. And I thought that was kind of cool because they've never done that before, and that just came out a few years ago, I believe. And then you can play as Piccolo and see what it's like from his point of view, fighting on Namek, fighting the androids, and you can do that for a ton of other characters. And I think that kind of makes this game stand out for me. It's definitely probably one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z, if not my favorite. I'm thinking it's my favorite so far. Yeah, and then they also have like what if scenarios, meaning like what would happen if Gohan became Gohan Black instead of Goku Black. That is just awesome. And I'm not going to spoil the other what if scenarios, but there's a ton of them when playing from different point of views. And to beat this game, there's so many side missions and other things to do. It's like, wow, really, really well done. And I absolutely love the what if scenarios and seeing how they play out. And they also have wishes. Like if you collect enough Dragon Balls, you'll be able to wish for certain things, like whether it gets you new outfits or new items or new abilities, titles. It's amazing. And they have 3 different types of Dragon Balls you can get, and you can summon 3 different dragons. And the more wishes you get, the more Dragon Balls you get, the more wishes you have. I think you get total 4 maximum Dragon Balls. I'm not exactly sure. But this game does have some bad. And I won't lie, it's not that bad, but some of it is like, okay. Like for example, they have big fight objectives. Like sometimes you gotta just reduce your opponent's health, but there's no timer. And it doesn't say how much you gotta reduce it by. It just kind of happens. And that's not even it. Like there are other fights where you just gotta survive. It says survive the battle against Frieza, but what does that mean? Like, how long do you have to survive? Like, I don't understand. It's like really, really vague, and it's a little off-putting in my opinion. And speaking of fight mechanics, sometimes if there were like new players to this game, the controls are a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of them, and there's no one way to play this game. So if you don't have no history with the game, you're probably going to be overwhelmed with the controls. But again, that's neither here nor there. With enough practice, you can master controls. But if you're new, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But what are my overall thoughts? This game, absolutely phenomenal. I will give it, if I had to rate it, I'll probably rate it a solid 9.5 out of 10 because it's just well done. Like it's very entertaining. There's more DLC coming. There's different stories, different players you can play as. It's absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved every second of it. And I definitely think it's worth investing in. It's probably one of the best fighting games I've ever played. Definitely the best Dragon Ball Z game I've ever played, but best fighting games ever. So I definitely think it's worth your time and money, and I would definitely recommend this game. Like it should be a candidate for Game of the Year, and I had a great time with it, and I know you were too. So leave a comment below if you like this game. But you did like this video, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, please hit that sub button. Thank you, and have a great and wonderful day.